Which Disney protagonist is the best? This question has been hotly debated for years and years, but here we have a collection of all of the protagonists from the mainline Disney movies, so it's my job today to rank them. Luckily, we start with Alidar from Dinosaur, who's just the worst. Man, it's not a good movie, he's not a good character, he's very flat, he's an iguanodon who thinks he's a monkey. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. From the very beginning, he is a character that is flawed. Not because it's a question of how is this a thing? How is this even, anyways? It's Dinosaur. I've already talked more about this movie than anyone else has in the past 22 years. So, moving on. Black Cauldron protagonist, better than Alidar. I'll give him that. Bernard. Or not Bernard. Great Mouse Detective. What's his name? Oh my gosh, can't remember his name. As a protagonist, he's great. He's smart, he's witty, he is fun, he has a lot of energy. He's Basil of Baker Street. That's it. He's great. I like him a lot. I think that he's really well done. Obviously a takeoff Sherlock Holmes, because they probably couldn't do full Sherlock Holmes. But it's like, as a character, he still shares those traits, but he's very clearly his own character. I really like what they did with him. I think they did a good job. Bernard and Bianca as the rescuers. Solid Bs. I can remember each of their characters. I can remember each of their dynamic together. They're sweet. They're just very sweet. And Bianca's feminine without ever being put down for being feminine. Bernard's a coward, but he's never really put down. Well, he's kind of teased for being a coward. But, it's not bad. I actually think they did a really good job on the dynamic. As much as I might not be a fan of the movies, I recognize that the characters themselves are well written and well done. So good on you. Moana's fantastic. Probably one of the better protagonists that's going to come out in a long time. Oliver is kind of a tapioca character. There's not a lot to him. There's not a lot that gets brought up. So, is he a great protagonist? No. Is he a serviceable one? Yes. Aladdin's another great protagonist. I would argue better than Moana. He starts off with a very clear motive. He starts off with a very clear intention to his character. He faces struggles. He makes interesting choices. And you root for him all the way through. Obviously, we're going to dock him a little bit because he's not perfect at following through on a lot of them. But as a character, very strong motivations. Very well done. Interesting. A lot of fun. Highly lovable. Alice, controversial. Good protagonist, not a great protagonist. Alice doesn't really do anything herself that propels the plot forward. She stumbles into Wonderland, which, it's all a dream twist. Yeah, whatever, okay. But she doesn't make a lot of choices. She's not someone who goes out and makes things happen. She is someone who things happen to a lot. That being said, as a character, she is charming, she is sweet. She probably gets a few points just because she's Alice, and that's a very recognizable protagonist. Does that make it a bad character? No. But, if they're naming the story after you and everything happens to you, you're a very passive protagonist. Things are happening to you, you're not making choices, therefore it is less interesting. But based off of sheer visibility and recognition, you can't deny this. Anna's also another good, really, really solid, excellent protagonist. I don't think anyone would argue that. I think that they have a lot of work that they do with her. I think that her and Elsa are probably two of the better modern princesses, even if they're not officially princesses, which is this whole other issue that I'll get into probably one day. But as it stands, I think that that's very fair. Ariel, another excellent protagonist. I would argue second only to Aladdin. Makes active choices. Doesn't always do the smart thing, but, is active, is engaged, and very, very, she gets things done. She's not someone who's going to wait around for things to happen to her. Arthur, I'm going to put in the same realm as Bianca and Bernard. Solid, good, not great. Aurora, this is going to be controversial, but hear me out. Does nothing. Aurora gets pricked by a needle and then lays there, and then that's it. Excellent character design. Doesn't do anything. Okay, glad we're clear on that. Bambi. Bambi sucks. Bambi sucks. Another, I can hear people yelling, I guess. Hear me out. Bambi, again, what do you remember about Bambi? The mother dies. What do you remember about Bambi, the character? It's a deer. It grows up, still a deer. It's not a very interesting story, is what I'm saying. You remember it more for the loss that you felt, and, no one watches it after a certain point if you don't have to. Beast, okay, yeah, you can't really deny Beast is one of the all-time best characters. Belle, I would argue, is possibly the best female character that's ever been written by Disney. I would say that, very expressionful, very smart, isn't afraid of things to happen. Just a great character, and one that I think deserves a lot of love and respect. Bolt is an interesting one, because I'll put Bolt above Oliver, simply because Bolt is a lovable character, very big heart, doesn't make the smartest choices, but makes choices, and then essentially has an adventure presented to them, seeks it out, and does it. So that's good. Chicken Little's terrible. Just terrible. Ugh. I hate everything about this movie. Cinderella is... okay, hard one. Obviously iconic, obviously wonderful character, obviously very smart, beautiful, makes choices, acts upon them, gets saved by mice. Hi, B. I'm being way too generous with Alice. Yeah, that's closer. Hound. Oh, no, don't make me rate this movie. I don't like the choices he makes. Movie still breaks my heart. I hate that movie so much. The Aristocats. Duchess doesn't really do much either. They get lost. They get brought back. Good mother, though. You know what? Good motherly traits. You go above Bambi. Dumbo. Again, a character where things happen to them. I'll keep them low. It was also early. I don't expect the original protagonist to have as strong a character development as later protagonists. This is a century of work later. A century of storytelling finesse. There's a lot of work that's been done, so we can't hold these earlier ones to as high a standard as the newer ones, so they can still be great. Chicken Little has zero excuse. They should have known better. But we can let some of them slide a little bit more. Elsa, right up there with Anna. A little bit maybe better than Anna. No, yeah. Not Moana, though. Makes her own choices. I'm going to assume that she's more of the lead for Frozen 2, giving her that little extra spark and sizzle. Good. Hercules sets out with the clear goal, achieves it, does very well, lovable character, interesting. I'll put just behind Beast. Maybe I'm being too generous to Beast. Maybe. Big Hero 6, I think, has a really strong protagonist. I think that it's a very interesting movie. Do I think he's the best designed? No, it's a little bit more shallow, but you understand their motivation, you understand how they're doing, so it's nothing holding against them. Just not the best, I don't think. Jim, how do we feel about Jim? Again, inciting incident happens. They make strong choices. They go on an adventure. They're likable. I'm going to dock a few points simply because they suffer from the early 2000s cool syndrome, where they're just we're just going to make this character a little extra cool, and that's going to supplement some of their character. I don't think it's the smartest choice, but it's also not a bad one. Oh, God, there's so many more. I need to speed this up. Judy Hopps, great character. Right away. Kuzco, great character. I will put Kuzco right above Beast. Lady, bad character. Meet the Robinsons. Yeah, that's fine. Lilo's wonderfully done. She's probably the best little girl character that's ever been animated. Home on the Range, another garbage movie. Milo from Atlantis, really good. really solid, makes good choices, active participant. Yes, there. Mowgli, not as influential, but not bad. Better than Arthur. Mulan, solid A tier, easy up. Probably one of the best female characters ever animated. Again, her and Belle. Maybe I just like brainy girl. Maybe I like my cartoon girls brainy. Maybe that's the thing. Nick Fox, good, very solid. I would put solid A. Peter Pan, not as strong as I want them to be in the long run, but still pretty good. I'll put them above Alice. Pinocchio. Pinocchio is not a great protagonist. Things happen to them. All he really wants to do is be a boy. It's not a very good movie. No, it's great. Maybe I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe that's it. Pongo, 101 Dalmatians is good. Very solid. Him and Perdita have a good relationship. It's probably one of the better, but can I put them that high? You know what? Right behind Mowgli. A little bit shallow, like a little bit one-dimensional in terms of character, but not a bad thing. Rapunzel, excellent. I would put them right above Judy. Why not? Simba. What do we do with Simba? Simba is another great character. You understand his motivation. Gets held up a little bit too long, in my opinion. But you can't... Oh, is he a solid A? Lion King, great movie. Is Simba a great protagonist? Simba's a good protagonist. Simba's a really good protagonist. Snow White... Okay, normally this would be... Snow White has no character. But because it's Snow White, you have... Like, there. I feel like I'm being overly generous, but that's fine. Tarzan, good protagonist, very solid, not a great protagonist. Solid B. I'll put them right in front of the rest. No, right in front of Alice. Tiana's well done. Good storytelling, good pieces that happen there. I would say solid A. I like the fox more than I like the hound. I actually like the fox more than I like Pinocchio. Suck on that. Tramp is about the same as Lady. Not a lot of character, but at least they're a little bit interesting. So we're good. Winnie the Pooh's Winnie the Pooh. Can you really blame Winnie the Pooh for not... Like, iconic. It's fine. We're good. Wreck-It Ralph. Very good. I would put solid A. Yeah, not opposed to that. Quasimodo, again, very solid A. Right behind Lilo. And that's like my favorite Disney movies, Hunchback of Notre Dame. So that's me being very cautious about that. The Bear from Brother Bear is fine. He's fine. He learns a lesson. Yeah, Robin Hood. Robin Hood is kind of shallow. Very one note, but it's a good note. It's a fun note. It birthed the world of furries, so I can't hold too much against it. Stitch, another good character. I think it's fair to put him and Lilo beside each other because they learn about family. That's fine. Pocahontas, like it's a love story. She's very brave in it. I can't not put her an A. Yeah, it's not my favorite Disney movie, but it's not bad. Raya, kind of the same thing. Kind of. It's not as She's not as interesting, though. There. All right. These are my ranking for Disney protagonists. I am interested to know what you think. Who am I being too harsh to? I'm sure Marcel has opinions. That's fine. Let me know what they are, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching. My name is Matti McLean. You can find me on problematic streaming platform Spotify at A Canadian in Eurovision. You can find me online on Twitter and Instagram at The Big Shabam. And finally, if you like what you've seen here and you want to help me out, feel free to like, subscribe. It really does help. And also, if you want to see me do something next, don't be afraid to tell me. Looking forward to hearing from y'all soon, and you have a great day now.